One of my favorite tools to use in Photoshop is the Liquify tool. And I'm going to demonstrate. This is a picture of an actress, and using the Liquify tool changed it into this one, sort of a manga type character, anime character. So we use the filter Liquify is right here, and so that's the tool that I'm going to use on this picture, the original. So I'm going to unlock my picture first, and when I'm done, I'm not going to save the picture this way. I'm going to have it as a Photoshop file instead of just a picture. That way I'm not destroying the original. So I'm going to go to Filter, and I'm going to go to Liquify. So I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, and over here you have your tools. The first one is called the Forward Warp, and it just sort of takes that point and moves the stuff in. Okay, so you can change the size of your brush. This one is a narrow brush, and you just kind of push it in to where it looks good. See how it changed her hair as well, so I can drag it down. These actually work well if you're like trying to give the effect of something melting. Just kind of playing around with it. And so it basically pushes whatever you're doing all the way through wherever it goes to the center. Now, this next one is called the Reconstruct tool. Basically, it's undoing all that stuff that I just did. Instead of hitting Command Z or Command Option Z, then I can just use this Reconstruction tool, and it fixes all of the stuff that I did previously. So if I made a mistake, I can just go back and fix just that part. So say I messed up only on this part, well, I can fix that. The next one is the clockwise twist. So everything goes in a certain circle. So I'm holding down the button, and it's basically going around the center of it. Again, can go back to my Reconstruct tool and change it back. Here is the Pucker tool, and basically it takes everything that's within this circle and makes it smaller. So now her eyes are really small. The Pucker tool. The next one is called the Bloat tool, which makes things bigger. And the first one doesn't look too bad. Second one kind of messed up on. It's kind of hard to get to where her eye is, the center of her eye. So then we have the Push tool, and you're just kind of pushing things around and sort of puckering, but more of a circle instead of a like it does before. So I can go back to my original. You see I just keep going back to the Reconstruct tool to do that. My Mirror tool, I'm basically making a mirror of things that's in there. So you can see that it's kind of has multiple noses or what was there, so I'm creating something else there. So what's on the right side of the or the left side will appear on the right side, and so on. Reconstruct tool is a very good tool if you are just playing with it and not really knowing what you want to do with it yet. One that I use a lot is the next one, is the turbulence tool. And this sort of does what the forward warp does. It just is a little bit different. And you do have your options over here. I didn't show those earlier, but you have your options that you can use. This tends to be, I think, a little bit more subtle than the warp, but then again, you just have to play with it and get it to where you want it to be. Now with this one, this particular image, I'll say, is the hair. You know, making the hair look like it's somewhat natural compared to what you could possibly do with it. And so kind of straighten it out a little bit after you push it in. You can tell that this is edited, so you kind of want to fix those things. And you can do it multiple ways, but that kind of helps. You could always go back and you're fixing this part. Just don't get enough that it's pushing the cheekbones back in. And so, see, by here, I'm pulling the cheeks back out, giving it that back to that normal. So again, that's the turbulence tool. You do have some mask tools here in the hand tool. And the zoom tool, you know, does the same thing that Command plus or Command minus does. Again, I just trying different things here to change up the way she looks and change her into an anime character a little bit. I'm not the best artist, so probably should use the pucker tool on that instead. I mess up and then I just go back. Now I'm going to hit cancel on this and return it back to normal. So this is the one that I did previously. And I'm going to select this one and go to the Liquify tool and zoom in on it. And you can still tell that there's some movement here. There's some movement around the eyes. It just looks, the way the hair falls is unnatural. But it's kind of hard to do it when, oh yeah, that's the other thing, you be careful of stuff like that. You can push it back down. But colored it a little bit using the color replacement tool and selected some things and just went over her hair to give it more of that colorful look to it. So that is the manga girl, which I love using the Liquify tool. Another project that I use the Liquify tool on is the Fire and Ice. So here I have my original word, fire. I took it into the Liquify tool and put some effects on it, but Liquify tool, I did that with it. Then I added my effects to it, I have another version that I did with a different color, and when you add these together, I have my red and orange. I add my effects to it, and it adds more of a fire effect, glowing effect. When I put the original behind it, it just doesn't really do much, but it's just a little bit here and there that I used it for. And then I made a copy of it and put the word fire back over the top. The bottom layer was basically just to line everything up. Then the top layer just reinforces the word again where everything started, and with the glow and stuff, it sort of has that illusion of glowing fire. Another one that I used it on was this 3D metal. Again, basically the same thing, taking a word and let's take these other layers off. And so I took this word and then I just kind of stretched everything down to where it looked like it was liquifying. Okay, so that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later.